This series of ramblings has focused on dogs, the relationship between people and their dogs, and why and how they're such a good reason to get out every day and enjoy a walk. And I've come today to a place called Larkhall, which is about half an hour southeast of Glasgow, to meet and walk with Scott Cunningham and his dog Travis. Whew. We're setting off at a good old lick because it's all a climb at the beginning, Scott, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice wee bray, as we'd call it here, to get the blood flowing as we, just before we enter Chartler Country Park, you know.
And this is your home territory?
Yeah, very much so. I just live along the wee bit of the river there, basically on my doorstep, which I feel very, very privileged to have. This beautiful bit of the South Lanarkshire countryside, away from all transport, and just being able to get out here and enjoy the good fresh air, you know.
Now, Scott, you are a rather intrepid and adventurous walker. You've done a lot of the long distance paths, haven't you?
Yeah, Claire, I mean, I've been very, very lucky and privileged really to have managed to enjoy all the major long distance walks in Scotland, a number of Munros as well, and also our biggest one to date was the Pennine Way from Derbyshire back across the border into Scotland, which was fantastic.
We're walking on a tarmac path at the moment. We've got a hawthorn hedge on our left, which is sprouting a bit like hair when it gets out of control. Sheep in the field beyond it, and on our right, quite a drop down. We came over a couple of bridges right at the beginning, crossing the river, and beautiful sound of the water rushing by. Now, the one thing, Scott, I haven't mentioned is Travis isn't just a dog. He's your eyes. He's your guide dog, isn't he?
Travis is my guide dog, Claire. He's a phenomenon, really. He's won the Scottish Guide Dog of the Year award twice, and every endeavour that we've taken part in, he's become the first guide dog to complete each challenge. All these outdoor events last year was completed by becoming the first guide dog to successfully guide his blind partner up the top of Ben Nevis.
God. How old is he now? Because he looks very wise.
Yeah, I mean, he's 10 and a half.
He's a yellow lab.
Yellow lab, yeah.
And I'll just pause. Hang on, Travis, can I see something? Because on his collar, there is a little badge. Yeah, Travis, that's the microphone. Say hello. And it's a small medal on a red and white ribbon. And that's yours, Travis. What is that? We
actually both get presented with MBEs, presented by the Princess Royal.
And that was for the money that you've raised for charity?
Yes. All our charity events over the period has raised over £160,000 now.
Wow.
It all began with the West Highland Way, then it was the Speyside Way in Scotland, the Southern Upland Way, we've done the Great Glen, and the Pennine Way, 268 miles, it took us 16 days. It was fantastic.
Yeah. And what were you on those long distance walks? Are you on your own? Have you got a backup team? How's it working?
Yeah, very much so. I've amazing friends, workmates, colleagues, and some very good friends in the services, the Royal Marines, who've very kindly lent their support over a period as well with logistics.
And Martin, who's with us now, has he been on any of the big
Yes,
treks with you?
Martin was on the Pennine Way, and he's been on another couple as well. Martin done a lot of the logistics by driving from A to B with all our bags and stuff on the Pennine Way, you know.
Mm. What's that, Martin? You nearly lost him? Right, what happened?
I was doing the logistics, and we had to kind of rendezvous at one point, and I must have been waiting about 2 hours for them, and it all happened because there was heavy rain the day before, and one of the rivers that we were meant to cross had basically burst its banks, and they had to fight their way across, didn't you?
We had to scale a mountain that it wasn't on the itinerary at all. Thankfully, with my mate from the Marines and my other mate Stuart, who helped manhandle Travis basically up and down the hill, and basically helped him manhandle me as well. It was pretty surreal, but we got there in the end.
So Martin's with us today, but I don't want to give people the impression that Martin would be here every day. He's really only here to take not only Martin, sorry, forgive me, he's here for the very specific job of taking photographs for your website and for ours.
Yeah.
But Scott, normally you'd be doing this walk on your own every day.
Yeah, I mean...
Or a variation of this walk.
Yes. The biggest percentage of times that we come here, Claire, is just Travis and myself. First couple of times Travis goes on any particular route. If we've got sighted assistance, he kind of memorises the route, you know, and after that I feel very, very comfortable with them and trust them fully to be able to get me around that route again. Come around here, there's certain places, you know, I've got my phone here, tells you the time as well, of course. You know, around roughly what kind of area you are due to the time. And as you notice back there, the kind of drop in temperature, and there only is certain parts of this particular walk that kind of temperature could be in the same area. So you know roughly where you're going to be, you know. And I don't feel in danger at all at any given point of this walk. But as you keep repeating it, it's fantastic because you're away from everything. There's no traffic. In here there's hardly a sound. It's fantastic, you know.
Good luck,
Travis. There we go. Good boy.
It's a very big day this for Travis, isn't it?
It's a monumental day. It really, really is. Today, not long after we do this interview, he'll be hanging up his harness as he retires. A guide dog life, working life, should end when they're around about the 10 years mark. Travis is now 10 and a half, and it's time for him to hang up his harness and enjoy a life of leisure.
So what will happen in his retirement, and what will happen to you and him?
Well, I will be able to see him now and again. He'll come and visit. He'll be mostly staying down at my parents', just down the road a bit. My father, he likes to come out this kind of area walking, so Trav here will be able to come out here without the harness, still enjoy it, and just hopefully enjoy a real good few years of quality retirement. Forward, Trav, good boy. Up.
I don't know why we've suddenly got, it's like an assault course this is. That all of these quite big branches have fallen down. And they're all over the shop. Just go a bit to your left, Scott. A bit more left, that's it. Cool. Scott, when you were first planning the original, the very first long distance walk, how did that go?
Had a fantastic ending, but towards the end it was very painful and very with a few wee problems. Minus 5 toenails, busted left ankle ligaments, and blistering that put me in hospital as soon as we get back, that the nurses had never seen before. Basically got Travis, we qualified with him in the September of 2002, and we went one night at the gym early in 2003. Big mate called and suggested, why don't we do something for guide dogs? I've been so good to you. I said, yeah, I'm just waiting an opportunity call. He thought, let's do a skydive. I said, well, to be fair, it sounds good, but I would feel I'll be cheating people because me strapped to somebody, I'm hardly going to be earning, the hard-earned money that people's going to be donating. And I'm not really inspiring them to strap to somebody, just waiting commands as we fall out of the sky. So what about the West Highland Way? Let's do it. So we'd done it within about 6 weeks, suggesting it in the gym that night to actually undertaking it and finishing it. So training basically was in round about here, a couple of wee hills. So we never really had much practice in guiding, and the guys in guiding me or whatever, because we didn't understand the terrain we were going to tackle or anything. And the West Highland Way can be pretty rugged when you can't see the boulders and stuff in front of you. So we basically wanted to crack it in as quick a time as possible, just get to the other end, get the shoes off and chill out. So en route, managed to kick a load of boulders, a load of pain, a lot of toenails missing, but we cracked at the end. Since then, we've developed a special code, 3, 2 and 1s. Now, 1 would be really sharp boulders, really tricky terrain, whereas you really need to lift your feet. You really need to use your walking pole, keep your balance. The 2s, pretty medium. The 3s, we've got boulders, but they're not particularly raggy or rocky. So the guys are great at that kind of descriptive, but we'd never thought of that back then. It was just, let's do it, let's finish, let's get to Fort William and get the boots off, The time I got the boots off, there was 2 very sore looking feet I had. Come on. There we go.
Hi there. All right.
Yeah.
Did you say hello, Travis?
Aye.
Did you?
Aye,
Oh, because you know him well.
Larkhall, I know him.
Ah.
Aye. Well, he was here.
All right, Mucker.
Aye, how you doing?
Good, mate, good. Just enjoying a walk round about this morning.
It's about 5 hours I've been away.
Aye.
Bed, shower in a bed.
You're listening to Ramblings, and I'm in Scotland today walking with Scott Cunningham and his guide dog Travis. And Scott lost his sight at the age of 23, and it happened very, very fast, Scott, didn't it, over a period of days?
Yeah, just around the 3-week mark, Clare. Very suddenly. I was a forklift driver, as I say, and get extreme headaches. Really, really extreme headaches. My left eye was going very, very hazy. I thought it was due to the headaches, but the right eye started following it along, went downhill pretty rapidly, and the doctor just sent me that night into the Southern General Hospital in Glasgow, where later on I had been diagnosed with the hereditary condition, Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. My eyes are okay. You're looking at me, you would think I'm okay, but it's the optic nerve behind the eye that sends a message to the brain. Yours and anybody else who's got good eyesight is pink, whereas mine's is white, and it doesn't send any message at all to the brain. So it was for the next year, I still had an awful lot of pain. Straight on, Trav, up, good boy. And an awful lot of pain as the optic nerve was dying away. But also, obviously, the mental issue of basically trying to cope with no sight and try to get on with things. And it certainly took a number of months, really, to get adjusted. The way I eliminated any negative thoughts then was basically my weekend started on a Thursday, it finished on a Sunday. I'd wake up on my Monday morning remembering not much at all, because I just eliminated a lot of refreshments.
You mean you were drinking?
A lot, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean it was the only way to blank out any negative thoughts. Wake up Monday morning, that was me back to square one.
Down to the right here?
Yeah, down to the right, Trav, behind the right, good boy, up. I'd blank out any negative thoughts with an awful lot of drink. I wake up Monday morning, I was back to square one, my mates were away back to work, and I was waiting on the Thursday coming around. Been unable to operate the way that you did before, cook meals. I've got a car in the driveway, I've got an amazing job at the time that I really enjoyed. Travelled all through Europe watching the Rangers, loved my rugby. And you say to yourself, somebody says, what's the point in getting up in the morning, So it was a vicious circle. Luckily for me, at that period, Guide Dogs for the Blind actually had a training centre here in Larkhall. It was a 10-minute walk from the house, so maybe it was a sign I had to get a dog. Forward, Trav, but I was still hesitant, because in my mind I was still in denial, because I thought I was going to wake up one morning and I would see again.
So were you resisting getting a dog because that would somehow label you?
Yes, very much so. And I thought, people see me about with a dog, they'll go, oh, look, he's blind, he's this and he's that, he can't do this, he's blah blah blah. Stigmatised, and that was for one of the reasons that you're just holding back, believing that you're going to be blind the rest of your days. And then luckily for me, the negativity left me when I was so lucky to be partnered with my first guide dog, Ike.
You really think it was down to Ike and then Travis, it's down to the dogs, the guide dogs in your life, that actually you're still here?
Yes, I would say that 100%. 100%. And since then, of course, I just became a much more positive person.
And do you think a lot of that was down to confidence?
Yes.
That actually, you walk at a hell of a pace. Travis and you'll go a good lick, and I wouldn't walk any quicker than this on my own.
Okay.
Now, presumably when you first started walking, you didn't walk that fast because you wouldn't have had the confidence to.
I remember vividly the first few steps with my first guide dog, Ike, outside the training centre in Larkhall. I had the left hand on the harness as such. My right hand was out rigid in case I walked into anything. That's how terrified and lack of confidence I had. As you can see now, we really step up the pace. Sometimes we do leave other people behind, but this is where I get the buzz. This is what Travis thrives on. This kind of speed, this kind of environment, and certainly it's how we manage to become a much more assertive pair. Get rid of any negative thoughts, as we've been talking about there. Just come out here and enjoy it, and it's very stimulating and inspiring, and it's fantastic. And as I say, I could never ever thank this amazing organisation called Guide Dogs for the Blind enough. I could give them thousands, and I will endeavour to give them thousands more donations. But I can never ever put a price on two amazing, phenomenal dogs. That's it's given me my life back, clearly,
Well, we've emerged from the woodland now on top of a very, very high bridge. Stone on the sides with an iron railing over the top, and gosh, I mean that drop is what, 50 feet? 50 feet down to the river. What's the river?
That's the River Avon.
Is it?
And it leads into Strathclyde Park there, which will be one of the venues for the Commonwealth Games.
And fantastic huge moss-coloured boulders down there. The river running fast and strong, and all these trees bending over it. And you just all you can see in the distance is a tunnel of trees and the river going through. And the sun now really beating down on us. It's a lovely day. We've been walking for over 2 hours now, and Scott hasn't taken one false step. He hasn't tripped, he hasn't hit any branches or anything, and we've come to a section now where there have been new steps built, and we go very steeply downhill, but probably 100 steps to negotiate and a stride between each one. And watching Travis with him, Travis stops at every step just before the drop so that Scott knows exactly where it is. He's really, really working here. Did you have dogs before? You said you weren't really a walker until you lost your sight. Were you a dog person?
We actually stayed in Zimbabwe for 3 years through when I was 12 to the age of 15, and we had a couple of dogs then. But since coming back from there, we never had any dogs. I used my car to get from A to B, even the shortest distances that I would just shake my head at now and say that was just so lazy. Here's me motivating people and trying to inspire people to come out and enjoy the outdoors, and I just look back at where I didn't walk and where I drove to, and it's shocking really. So you take forward travel, take everything for granted then, and but now that I've got this love for the outdoors, it's just something that I love to get out of my bed and early in the morning and come and enjoy,
Chap coming towards us with an ageing border terrier. It's got great eyebrows, they go very, very white.
Right.
Got really hairy white eyebrows. Hi there. So your new dog is called?
Milo.
And Milo arrives when?
Tomorrow. The 2.5 week residential course begins tomorrow. Therefore a new life with a new, soon to be four-legged legend. We've got a whole bond and a whole relationship to build up then. Going from Ike, who was, laid back, Rolls Royce type, he's really chilled out and stuff, to Travis, a really high-powered four-wheel drive. I mean, as you know at the minute, he's still going pretty fast here, but Milo will be able to go that wee bit faster, with him only being, around about the 18-month-old mark. That'll be getting him tomorrow.
And given that you like a challenge,
yep.
Are you excited by the fact that he may take you places you haven't been before?
Yeah,
unintentionally, but he might.
That's for sure, I mean, remember that it was David Blunkett's dog way back when they took him to the wrong side of the Commons, remember? Yeah. So I don't intend going there, but I'm sure we'll have some laughs over a period, and that's the important part, to keep a smile on your face and keep a good sense of humour, because if you get frustrated, the dog gets frustrated, and things will not start working out too well.
So Travis heads off into retirement and lives with your parents, and you'll still be able to see him as and when.
Yeah.
But this incredible bond, this marriage between you is over. This is the last day.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's emotional, very, very emotional. Over the last few nights, few weeks, I say, we've sat and reminisced in some of the places, some of the, you know, the miles that we've walked together over a period. But what's keeping me very, very positive, Clare, is the fact that Trav, as you can see here, still very fit, still very willing, and he's clearly got some good quality years ahead of him. Out the harness, enjoying some leisure life. And unfortunately, poor Ike didn't, because in his 10th year, just after he retired, he unfortunately got a tumour, which yeah, it was, to be fair, it was actually worse than I lost Ike. It was worse than the day that I lost my sight, because Ike pulled me out of everything, got me back on with it, and then that was the legend. Had sadly passed away. A big massive tumour in his head, actually. So whereas Trav here, he's still very fit and still loving it, so he'll be able to join us for some leisure walks, not to the extent where we'll be back on the hills, of course. He's done his last hills, but this kind of area is fine with him.
He could show Milo a bit of what to do.
Yeah, I mean, Milo, as you know, it's Travis Trek. We've called the events Milo's Miles. Is about to be initiated soon, but a wee fella, he's certainly got the potential to go on and be a legend in his own right. But again, I really don't think any other guide dog will be lucky enough to do and enjoy the challenges that Trav here has done over a period, you know. I mean, been able to crack the Pennine Way 16 days that only a quarter of humans tackle it.
Yeah.
Finish it, you know, and this fella here, no problem. All the different places we've been, hills and stuff, it's I really can't foresee any other guide dog being able to undertake it. He's touched so many people's hearts, you know. When he met the Queen, he covered her long black dress in Travis hairs and she wasn't bothered. Tomorrow's a new chapter in my life, which it is, I've had many a chapter since early October '93, that's for sure. Go on, Trav, hop up, good boy. Come on.
Do you think he'll take a while to adjust to not working?
Yes, I do. It's a wee bit worrying, because he is so attached to me, you know. If he's doing it with parents, which isn't too far away, he'll sit out in the grass and look up my way towards my house. It's like the Greyfriars Bobby situation, you know.
Yeah.
But I say, over a period of time, I'm going to be away for residential course for 2.5-3 weeks, and we'll just have no contact at all, and hopefully I'll be able to relax a lot more, you know. It's going to be a massive wrench, without a doubt, massive wrench. I'm just hoping he manages to just get some good free running in, you know.
I have to say that many times in this programme I'm very grateful to people for letting me in, for letting me intrude on what can be very personal walks, and I feel that really strongly today. You know, this is your last walk with him, and you've let me come, and thank you for that.
Thank you very much for coming, Clare, because it means a lot for me to be able to document it, let people know what we've got here in this locality, what this particular walk means to me, and it's monumental. This legend here, while he's wearing his MB and everything, he's certainly helped me get on with my life, and certainly touched a lot of people's hearts throughout the world. That's for sure.
Good fella, Travis.
Come on, Trav, man. There we go.